Hands up if you would like to have more respect from others without even saying a word. We've all felt it, right? That feeling of being invisible, of having great ideas but not knowing how to make people listen. So what if I told you that the secret to commanding respect, to drawing people in, and to building rapport has almost nothing to do with your words? In this video, I'm going to break down 6 psychological signals you can start using today to change the way people see you without saying a single word. And by the end of this, you'll have a toolkit to walk into any situation with more confidence than ever before. Now, imagine 2 people walk into a job interview. They have the exact same qualifications, the exact same resume. But one of them has a coffee stain on their shirt, their hair is messy, and they look like they've just rolled out of bed. The other one looks put together, polished. Who will make the better impression and probably get the job? Yeah, it's pretty obvious, right? And this is not about being the most attractive person in the room. This really is about communicating self-respect. When you take the time to present yourself well, you are non-verbally telling the world, I believe I'm worth the effort. And when you believe it, others start to believe it too. There's also something at play that psychologists call the halo effect. It's a cognitive bias where our impression of someone in one domain, like their polished appearance, positively influences our feelings about them in other domains. We see someone who looks put together and our brain subconsciously assumes they are also more competent, more intelligent, and more reliable in other areas. So, before you walk out of the door or log onto a call, take a minute. Straighten your collar, wipe a smudge off your shoes, smooth your hair, check you don't have hair growing out of your nose, whatever it is. It's a final check that tells your brain, I'm ready and I'm valuable. So signal number 1 is, look like you value yourself. And remember, looking after your appearance isn't about vanity. It's your opening statement in a silent negotiation for how you deserve to be treated. Now I want you to picture somebody in a conversation. They're fidgeting, checking their phone, tapping their foot, their eyes are darting all over the place. What does that tell you? Now picture a person who is still. Their hands are relaxed. Their posture is calm and open. They're fully present. Fidgeting is often a manifestation of what's going on in the body's limbic system, the fight or flight response, leaking excess cortisol and adrenaline. When you are intentionally still, you signal to your own brain as well as to everyone else's that your prefrontal cortex is in charge. You are calm, rational, and in control. That stillness communicates power. It shows you're comfortable in your own skin and unfazed by the environment around you. The next time you're in a conversation, focus on eliminating those nervous twitches. Plant your feet on the ground, relax your hands. Your stillness will speak volumes. So, remember, signal number 2 is master your stillness. In a world of noise and frantic motion, the person who is still is the one that holds the most power. Now, think about how people sit on a train. Now, sometimes you see somebody hunched over, their phone, elbows tucked in, shoulders curved, making themselves as small as possible, right? They're physically receding from the world. And then you see someone else sitting back comfortably, perhaps with an arm draped over the empty seat next to them. They aren't being aggressive, they're simply at ease. Now, obviously, if there's no person sitting there, right? But the amount of physical space we occupy is a direct reflection of how much psychological space we feel entitled to. Confident people are not afraid to take up space. They broadcast comfort and ownership of their environment. Harvard researcher Amy Cuddy famously demonstrated that adopting power poses, expansive, open postures, doesn't just change how others see you. It can physically change your brain chemistry, measurably increasing testosterone and decreasing cortisol, the stress hormone, after just 2 minutes. So the next time you sit down, consciously resist the urge to perch on the edge or fold into yourself. Sit all the way back, let the chair fully support you. Rest your arms on the armrests. This simple act sends a powerful signal of confidence and ease to everybody watching. So, signal number 3 is use expansive body language. You'll be telling yourself and others that you're confident. Let's talk about eye contact. This might be the most powerful yet underused tool we have to either make a strong or a weak impression. We spend so much time of our day avoiding eye contact with others, here in the West especially, lost in our own worlds. But our ability to maintain positive, confident eye contact can change how others perceive us almost like nothing else. There's a concept called the facial feedback hypothesis. It suggests that the physical act of smiling can actually trick your brain into feeling happier. Happier really also means more confident. But also, when you make eye contact and you hold it and break into a genuine smile, you're triggering the mirror neurons in the other person's brain. It's a subconscious invitation for them to smile back. It's an instant biological handshake that says, hey, I see you and I'm friendly. So here's the trick to how to get this right. When you interact with somebody, hold gentle eye contact just long enough to determine their eye color. That's quite a good trick, about 2 to 3 seconds. This is the sweet spot between a glance and a stare. And then allow yourself to break into a genuine smile, like you see them as a friend. Oh, and by the way, when you look away, don't look down, but keep your eyes up at eye level, or you look like they made you feel uncomfortable. So remember, signal number 4 is confident eye contact. Hold it for a few seconds and break into a smile, and notice how people react. Right, now picture this. You're walking down the street and you see 2 new restaurants. One is completely empty. The other has a lively buzz, with people laughing and talking inside. Which one do you want to go to? It's not even a question, right? The life inside the second one acts like a form of social gravity, pulling you in. This is at the core of what Dr. Robert Cialdini calls social proof, one of the most powerful principles of influence. We look to others to decide what is good, interesting, and safe. This is a core principle of human psychology that you can use to your advantage. So how do you use it? By cultivating genuine, positive relationships with people. When you walk into a room and are seen laughing and engaging warmly with a few friends, you send a powerful silent signal. It tells newcomers, this person is liked, this person is safe, this person is valued by others. It lowers the barrier for new people to approach you because you're already vetted by the people you're with. It's not about being the center of a huge, loud crowd, but demonstrating your ability to connect positively with others. So, signal number 5 is leveraging social proof. Stop trying to prove you're interesting to the room. Just be interesting to the people you're with, and the rest of the room will notice. Now, picture yourself walking into a room full of people. And just imagine you're looking for the most magnetic person in the room. 9 times out of 10, it is the person who seems the happiest. Positive energy is a complete magnet. We often think we need to be impressive, we need to have the wittiest story, the most important job title. But people aren't truly drawn to people who take themselves extremely seriously. They're drawn to happiness. They want to be near the person who is genuinely enjoying themselves the most. And this is the principle of emotional contagion that can really work for you. The emotions you genuinely feel are infectious. We are subconsciously wired to mirror the emotional states of those around us. If you're bored and trying to look cool, people will feel that. If you're genuinely having fun, people will feel that too. Next time you're in a social setting, consciously shift your internal question from what do people think of me to what could be interesting or fun about this. Stop self-monitoring and start engaging. Dive into a conversation. Listen with curiosity. Allow yourself to be amused. Great side effect, when you're having fun, your body language naturally becomes more expansive. Your eyes sparkle. You relax. You become a source of positive energy. And most importantly, the fact that you're enjoying yourself freely signals that you're not worried about how you look to others. And that signals ultimate confidence and makes you charismatic. So signal number 6 is be the person having the most fun. The person that has the most fun has the most social charisma and impact. And talking about fun, if you found these tips helpful, then you'll love what I call my kick-ass assumptions report. Reading it will seriously change your life if you need more confidence around other people. You can download it at the link in the description.